Discover the incredible moment a billionaire transformed a single mother's life in just 30 days. Samantha stood at the edge of the community center stage, her heart thumping in tandem with the bass from the nearby sound system. The room was packed, filled with battered souls trying to improve their lives but often left feeling crushed under the weight of the world. As a single mother, she understood this struggle all too well. The corners of her lips turned up slightly, a small smile hidden behind a veil of exhaustion. It was her moment to share her journey, the reality of raising 2 kids alone amidst the clatter of her 2 soul-crushing jobs. Her chest tightened, and warm tears stung her eyes as she began to speak. I wake up before dawn, juggling plates and grumbling customers at the diner. I clean homes at night with my kids asleep so they don't have to see how hard I'm fighting just to keep a roof over our heads. The room seemed to lean in closer, drawn to her unwavering determination. She could almost feel their collective heartbeat syncing with hers. I dream of turning my late mother's bakery into a place of hope for this community. But sometimes, I wonder if dreams were meant for people who can actually reach them. In that moment, the room erupted into applause. It felt miraculous, a spark of hope igniting within each listener. But for Samantha, the weight of self-doubt often threatened to consume her. Before she could sink into her self-reflection, a figure moved through the crowd, unmistakable even among the sea of familiar, worn faces. Alex Thompson, a local billionaire whom Samantha had only seen on the news, approached her. She froze, the warmth of his presence mingling with the choking anxiety in her throat. "I was moved by your story," he confessed, his eyes sincere. "I want to help you financially and as a partner to revive that bakery. I believe it can be a community hub that brings us together." Samantha's heart raced. Was this real? Alex Thompson, the man with wealth and opportunities so far removed from hers, standing in front of her, offering a lifeline. The skepticism crept in. Could she truly trust him? What if she ruined everything? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Days turned into a blur of meetings and brainstorming. Together, Alex and Samantha navigated city hall discussions about funding, battled community skepticism, and faced the raw truth that privilege can distance one from the struggles of everyday life. Each step revealed cracks in her dreams and the societal biases she had always known but fought to ignore. Tension simmered, and the shadows of doubt encroached upon her resolve. During a pivotal community meeting, Samantha stood tall and spoke out about her fears and the systematic challenges that stifled dreams like hers in their neighborhood. "It's not just about me. It's about the 100 other families struggling too. We're supposed to have a voice." The energy shifted as heads nodded in agreement. That was her moment, the moment everything could change. Yet as she exited the building, doubt flooded back. Could she reshape her life and her community's future? Would she rise to the occasion and not hide away in the shadows of self-doubt? With the grand opening of the bakery looming, one question echoed in her mind: could a single mother actually change her life and the lives around her in just 30 days? Samantha's world spun wildly as she drove home that night. The prospect of opening the bakery was both exhilarating and terrifying. The glow of streetlights blurred in her vision, and her mind buzzed with possibilities. Would the community rally behind her? Would she be able to live up to Alex's faith in her? Each night, her children would climb into bed, their faces reflecting innocent dreams of a stable life that eluded them every day. As she tucked them in, their little hands grasped her own. "Mom, when can we go to the bakery?" they would whisper, eyes sparkling at the idea. "Will there be cookies?" Ethan would always add with that hopeful grin of his, and Eva would bounce excitedly, "Can I help decorate?" Their excitement fueled the fire within her. She wanted to give them more than just a roof, she wanted to give them a future. But could she handle the weight of an entire community's expectations on her shoulders? At the next meeting with Alex, he stood before her, confident and composed. "We need to talk about what's next," he said, flashing a bright smile that illuminated the room. But as he laid out plans for renovations and marketing strategies, Samantha felt her heart sink. All she could see were the walls closing in on her dreams, the numbers and responsibilities piling higher than she ever anticipated. "Alex, do you think this will really work? What if they don't come?" Her voice trembled, laced with vulnerability. "What if I fail?" He didn't hesitate, he stepped closer, capturing her gaze. "Samantha, you've already begun to inspire them. Remember that meeting? You gave them a voice, a reason to believe. You are capable of so much more than you realize." Somehow, his words soothed her, sparking a small ember of courage deep inside. But she wasn't just facing doubt of her own. There was still the whisper of her past, the failures and missed opportunities that haunted her. As days blended into nights, Samantha poured her heart into the preparations for the bakery. She researched, planned, and begged for community involvement. Friends and neighbors slowly trickled in to offer help. A retired baker taught her the secrets of sourdough, while a group of teenagers painted the walls with vibrant colors, turning the once dilapidated space into a canvas of joy. As the launch day approached, it felt less like a bakery opening and more like a community gathering. But the night before, she paced her living room, the weight of her decision pressing down like a lead blanket. Ethan looked up from his puzzle on the floor. "Mom, are you okay?" "Yes, sweetheart. Just nervous." Eva chimed in, "You're gonna do great. I got a cookie ice cream party planned for everyone." The innocence in their eyes reminded her why she was fighting so hard. This was for them. Yet, when she finally lay down, sleep eluded her. What if no one came? What if she failed them? Morning arrived with a quiet urgency. She stood before her bakery for the very first time. The smell of fresh bread wafted through the air, mingling with the scents of coffee and pastries. The soft sunshine bathed the building in a warm glow, promising a new beginning. As the minutes ticked by, people began to show up, one, then a few more. Nerves transformed into hope, but beneath her excitement, a familiar feeling of doubt brewed. Would this dream survive the expectations? And then, she spotted Alex, standing at the entrance, waiting. His presence felt reassuring, a reminder that she wasn't alone in this fight. Could one collaboration truly transform lives? With a deep breath, Samantha looked out at the gathering crowd, the eyes of her community fixed on her. She stepped forward to greet them, her heart pounding with the weight of possibility. The moment had arrived. But as she opened her mouth to speak, she wondered, would they accept her, and all she dreamed to create? So many hopes are riding on this. Can I really carry this burden? Samantha's breath caught in her throat as she faced the crowd. She could see familiar faces twisted with curiosity and hope, whispering to one another in eager anticipation. The bakery felt larger than life at that moment, filled to the brim with hopes and dreams, not just hers, but those of everyone gathered. Hello everyone. She managed to say, her voice wavering slightly. Thank you for being here today. The warm smiles broke the tension inside her. Still, doubt clawed at her. What if she stumbled over her words? What if they didn't feel the same passion she did? She fought to steady her breath, straightening her spine. She glanced at Alex, who gave her an encouraging nod. That simple gesture gave her the strength to push on. I've always dreamed of this bakery as a place of warmth and comfort, a place for families to come together, share stories, and enjoy good food. She looked at her children, enthused, watching her with beaming trust. That image lifted her spirit. Today, we're not just opening a bakery. We're building a community, stronger together. The words flowed more freely now, igniting a spark of connection. She began recounting the stories shared during planning meetings, the laughter, the ideas, the camaraderie. The audience softened at every mention of friendship and hope. They were with her. But then, a woman from the back raised her hand. What about the prices? Can we really afford all this? Samantha's heart sank again. The randomness of concern mixed with a wave of apprehension washed over her. Would affordability lead to barriers? She took a breath, inspired by the very community that fueled her dream. I want this bakery to be a place where everyone feels welcome, where families don't have to worry about breaking the bank. We'll have specials, community days, and even baking classes to keep it fun and accessible. Nods and murmurs of approval fluttered through the crowd, reigniting Samantha's enthusiasm. Just then, a young girl caught her eye, fiddling with a crumb from the cake display. Her bigger brother knelt beside her and whispered something that made her giggle. That image stitched a smile on Samantha's face. What if this bakery could cultivate small moments of joy like that every day? As she spoke more about the pastries, the details of her vision unfolded with vivid color. A kid-friendly cookie corner, community art on the walls, storytelling nights. Each idea filled her heart with excitement. The bakery could be a hub, a space for creativity, connectedness, and warmth. Hours later, as the last of the crowd trickled in and out, satisfaction swelled within her. Although it was just the start, the excitement was palpable. She gave Ethan and Eva a hug each, squeezing them tightly. What do you think? She asked, beaming. It's perfect, Mom. Ethan said, his eyes sparkling. Can we have a cookie party tomorrow? Eva jumped up and down, nearly bouncing up to the ceiling. Before she could reply, Alex approached with a broad smile. You pulled it off, Samantha. They loved it. You really connected with them. The warmth of his praise enveloped her, renewing her resolve. But as Samantha turned to look at the bakery, still trying to absorb the overwhelming doubts and triumphs of the day, she felt a familiar unease creep back in. Were her ideas enough? But then a thought ignited in the back of her mind. Was there more to her dream than just opening a bakery? That night, as they settled down on the couch after a long day, the kids whispering about cookie flavors and ice cream suggestions, she couldn't shake that feeling. What if this bakery became more than just a cozy place? What if she could help others build their dreams too? Tomorrow, I'll start taking those ideas to the next level, she whispered to herself, unaware of where this journey might take her. But as slumber pulled her into its embrace, she had one last bout of worry. Would it truly be possible to share her success and give others a chance to grow alongside her? The sun had barely risen the next day, yet her heart thudded with determination. She could do this. But little did she know, an unexpected opportunity awaited her just around the corner. The morning light spilled through the kitchen window, casting a warm glow on the breakfast table. Samantha moved about, preparing pancakes, her thoughts buzzing with possibilities. Ethan and Eva couldn't stop talking about their fun plans for the bakery. Their energy was infectious, and it wrapped around her like a hug. After breakfast, she glanced at her to-do list. The bakery was alive with potential, but that nagging feeling lingered in her chest. What could be the next move? She had no answers, but she felt an inescapable pull to explore the idea of community support further. As she washed the dishes, her phone buzzed. A text notification. It was from Alex. Meet me at the bakery in an hour. I have someone I want you to meet. Curiosity tinged with excitement washed over Samantha. Who could it be? Quickly, she wiped her hands and headed out, her heart racing. The moment she stepped inside the bakery, the familiar scent of fresh coffee and baked bread embraced her. But today it felt different, electrified, as if the very air were charged with possibilities. Alex stood near the display case, talking to a tall man dressed in a sharp suit. The man had an inviting smile, and Samantha felt an unexplainable spark of recognition. Samantha. Come here, Alex called, gesturing her over. Who is this? She asked, trying to mask her intrigue about the stranger. This is Mr. Collins, Alex said, a hint of excitement in his voice. He's an investor. I told him about your vision for the bakery. Pleasure to meet you, Samantha, Mr. Collins said, extending his hand. His grip was firm, yet comforting. Alex has shared some wonderful things about you and your plans. Thanks, she replied, still piecing together the situation. I couldn't help but notice the passion you have, Mr. Collins continued. I believe in community-driven projects, and I see great potential in your ideas. Her breath hitched. What do you mean? I think we could partner up, he said, a gleam in his eye. With some funding, we could expand your bakery and possibly create workshops that empower other aspiring business owners. It could become a hub of innovation. Her heart raced at the thought, was it really possible? She tried to keep her excitement in check. But that's a big step. I'm just a single mother with a dream. Precisely why I want to partner. Your story resonates with so many, Mr. Collins replied. I want to help make it a reality. You wouldn't just be running a bakery, you'd be inspiring others. Imagine the impact. The room felt charged with energy as Samantha took in his words. The doubts that had danced in her mind began to fade, replaced by a budding sense of revelation. Was this the opportunity she had been yearning for? What do you think? Alex asked, his eyes filled with hope. Samantha took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. She knew this choice could change everything. I need a moment to think about it, she managed to say. But her heart was already singing at the possibilities. As they discussed the logistics and potential, her mind whirled. She had transformed from a woman uncertain of her place to someone who could possibly create waves of change within her community. But as the conversation deepened, a new worry tugged at her. Would she be able to handle this level of responsibility? Could she truly rely on someone like Mr. Collins? Before she could voice her concerns, Mr. Collins asked, when can we start? Samantha's heart pounded in her chest. This was it, the moment of truth. But would she take the leap of faith into a world unknown? Give me a day to think it over, she replied cautiously, feeling the weight of her own dreams mingled with the hopes of others. As she left the bakery, her thoughts were storming. Would she be ready to make such a leap? The reality pushed and pulled in her chest, fanning the flames of both fear and hope. Tomorrow, she would decide. But what if this was just the beginning of something she had never even imagined? The sun dipped lower in the sky, painting the evening with hues of orange and pink. Samantha leaned against the window of her kitchen, watching the kids play in the yard as the weight of the day settled on her shoulders. Decision time loomed ahead, and her thoughts raced back to Mr. Collins's words. Could she really go from managing daily routines to spearheading a community hub? Ethan, can you keep an eye on your sister? She called out, trying to catch a moment's peace. The answer was a distracted nod, as both kids were busy with pretend games, their laughter echoing in her ears like a sweet melody. There was a flicker of happiness within her, a reminder of what she was striving for, but the flicker was constantly snuffed by doubt. Samantha poured herself a glass of lemonade, the cool drink refreshing yet not quite soothing her tangled thoughts. She returned to the table, where her to-do list lay sprawled beneath an array of crayon doodles created during an earlier art session with the kids. The decor of her dreams and her realities clashed beautifully in that simple space. Her phone buzzed again, pulling her from her reverie. This time, it was a call from Alex. Hey, how's it going? He greeted, his energetic voice bringing a smile to her face, even through the phone. Trying to find a way to breathe between my thoughts, she replied, shifting the glass as she paced the room. I get it, he said, sounding sympathetic. Hey, when you said you needed a day, I just wanted to remind you that this isn't just about you. It's about the community. You've got the potential to make a real difference. I know, but what if I fail? What if I'm not the person they need? The worry spilled out before she could rein it in. Samantha, Alex said gently, every successful person has doubts. Remember, it's okay to be scared. It's what you do that matters. Look at what you've already done with the bakery. That's a leap in itself. Her heart warmed at his encouragement. You really think that? Absolutely. You're already building something important here. Just look at Ethan and Eva, you're setting an example for them, too. He paused for effect. What do you want to show them? The question hung in the air, triggering something deep within. She wanted to show them strength, resilience, and the potential to dream big. More than that, she wanted to lead a life of purpose, not just to survive but to inspire. Thanks, Alex. I'll think it over some more, she replied, a newfound resolve kindling within her. After hanging up, she took a moment to breathe. Sleepy sounds of children's laughter drifted in from the yard, mingling with the rustle of leaves outside. They had each other, they were good. She could do this step beyond the boundaries she'd set for herself. As she tucked her kids into bed later that night, their peaceful faces filled with trust stirred something within her. What if she broke free of her fears? She kissed them both goodnight, vowing that she would at least try. The weight of her decision loomed large. Tomorrow would be important, not just for her, but for her family and the community she could touch. Yet as she lay down, sleep refused to come. Her mind flickered with images of her bakery transformed, a workshop filled with eager faces, baking under her guidance, but just as many doubts danced in the night. Could she really change lives? The thought sent a thrill down her spine. As morning approached, she found herself staring at the ceiling, her heart racing. What if this was the moment she had to step up? A world of possibility awaited her, but would she embrace it? Before she could drift off, another thought struck her. What if Mr. Collins was who he claimed to be? With that nagging question, she surrendered, knowing tomorrow could change everything. Would she have enough courage to face whatever lay ahead? The first rays of sunlight broke through the curtains, casting a soft glow in Samantha's bedroom. She opened her eyes, feeling the weight of uncertainty still heavy on her chest. But today was different. Today felt like a chance. After a quick breakfast, she gathered her kids and prepared to tackle the day. What's on the schedule today, Mom? Ethan asked, his enthusiasm infectious. She smiled, trying to match his excitement. Today, we're going to the bakery. I need your help with something really important. Eva cheered, already bouncing up and down, while Ethan nodded, ready to play his part. Samantha felt a rush of warmth wash over her. If she could share her vision with them, perhaps the kids would see how possibility bloomed from hard work and a little faith. The bakery was alive as they walked in. The sweet scent of cinnamon and sugar enveloped them, and Samantha couldn't help but smile at the familiar surroundings. It was in this bustling space that she'd begun to carve out a life for her family, scrapping together ingredients and patience to learn the craft. Now, it was time to take that next step. As Samantha donned her apron, she caught sight of Mr. Collins entering through the door. Her heart jumped, she hadn't expected him so soon. He was sharply dressed, his presence commanding, but beneath that polished exterior was an earnestness that intrigued her. Good morning, Samantha. I hope your day is going well, he beamed, setting down a box filled with fresh supplies. I thought I might drop off some ingredients for your upcoming classes. Just a little support for your journey. Thank you, Mr. Collins, she said, trying to mask the storm of emotions swirling within her. I really appreciate it. Then, sensing an opportunity, she added, I'd love to share my ideas about what I want to do with the bakery and the community. His interest piqued, Mr. Collins leaned in closer. I'd be more than happy to hear them. Samantha took a deep breath. She outlined her vision, a hub where the community could gather, learn, and share, revolving around baking and connection. She poured her heart out, every idea touching on joy, creativity, and perhaps, even happier lives. As she spoke, the hesitant knots in her stomach began to loosen. That sounds powerful, Samantha, he said, his eyes shining with conviction. A community needs more than just a place to eat, it needs to thrive together. Ethan and Eva busily arranged the utensils, listening in, their faces lighting up with pride as their mother's passion unfolded. For a moment, it felt like they were a team, reinforcing each other's dreams. "Let us make this happen," Mr. Collins continued, his tone shifting to one of determination. "I have resources, and I know people who can help." A surge of hope shot through Samantha. What if this was the change she had been yearning for? "Really? You do that?" she stammered, her heart racing. "Absolutely. But there's more you'll need to do. You'll need to dig deep and face your fears, Samantha." Her heart raced again, this time with trepidation. Could she truly embrace this opportunity? Suddenly, memories of her doubts crept back, reminding her of the voices whispering, "What if you fail?" Before she could reply, a voice called from the back. "Hey, when do we start?" It was one of her regular customers, a woman with a kind smile who frequently brought her kids to the bakery. Others were trickling in, drawn by the warm aromas. Mr. Collins turned to her, understanding her hesitation. "Let us discuss this further. Today, let us show them what this bakery can be." Samantha straightened, a flicker of determination lighting up her eyes. The day was rich with potential. As they began to tend to customers, she caught sight of her children helping another child bake. Together, they laughed and learned, and that was the moment she realized she had to fight for this. What if facing her fears could lead to a beautiful new chapter? With renewed energy, she resolved to act on the coalescing dreams not just for herself but for the future she envisioned for her kids and community. But a nagging doubt lingered: could Mr. Collins truly help her, or was there something more to his interest that remained unspoken? Tomorrow could bring answers, or it could unearth more questions. Either way, Samantha was ready to step into the unknown. As the day progressed, the atmosphere in the bakery buzzed with laughter and creativity. Samantha felt invigorated by the energy of the place. Each time she caught sight of Ethan and Eva joyfully mixing batter or covering cookies with colorful sprinkles, her heart swelled with pride. This was more than work, it was a glimpse of the future she had envisioned. "Mom! Look what I made!" Eva shouted, practically bouncing on her toes, holding up a lopsided cookie that made Samantha giggle. "It's beautiful, honey," she replied, kneeling down to meet her daughter's sparkling eyes. "Just like you, full of character." Ethan chimed in, holding up a perfectly shaped cupcake. "I want to make a whole batch like this for the community day, Mom." Samantha's heart raced at the mention of Community Day. It was a chance to create real connections, to bring people together, to show them that the bakery was more than just a place for baked goods, it was a place for hearts to converge. Mr. Collins had stepped aside to offer guidance to a group of eager customers who had arrived for a basic baking class. His calm demeanor and genuine encouragement brought a sense of warmth that made Samantha's worries shrink just a bit. As the children focused on the task at hand, she approached him, curiosity burning in her chest. "How do you know so much about creating community spaces?" she asked. "It's a huge dream for me, and I could use all the advice I can get." He turned to her, a thoughtful expression on his face. "It comes from understanding what people want. You're not just selling baked goods. You're offering a piece of happiness, a moment of togetherness. That's what will make your vision thrive." His words resonated deeply inside her, igniting her ambitions anew. "Do you really think I can do this?" she asked hesitantly. "I've seen more improbable dreams come to life." "You have something special, Samantha. But you need to trust yourself, just as your kids trust you," he replied, his gaze steady and affirming. The words hung between them, and for the first time, Samantha felt the heavy shackles of doubt slowly start to dissolve. She could do this. Maybe she could make her dreams a reality, with the support of her children and someone like Mr. Collins by her side. As customers shared stories, bonded over flour and sugar, Samantha felt an overwhelming sense of belonging wash over her. Folks were rallying around her idea almost instinctively, the idea of community flowing naturally as seamlessly as the icing drizzled on a cake. But as the afternoon wore on, the thrum of hope was interrupted by a sudden distant clang. The bakery door swung wide open and a figure clad in a brown leather jacket burst in, a harsh chill swirling with him. Everyone stopped, turning to assess the newcomer. The joyful sound of mixing bowls and laughter faded, replaced by an eerie silence. The man's eyes swept the room, landing on Samantha, and she felt a sharp stab of apprehension. "Is this where I can find Samantha?" he queried, his voice deeper than she expected. It was casual, but there was something unsettling about it, an edge that made her heart race again. Why did he want to see her? What could this mean for the fragile dream she was weaving? Anxiety clawed at her as she prepared to answer. "Yes, I'm Samantha," she said, her voice steadier than she felt. Before she could utter another word, the man stepped closer, his expression unreadable. "We need to talk." With uncertainty flooding her veins, she glanced back at Ethan and Eva, who stood wide-eyed behind the counter. The weight of that moment settled in, thick and foreboding. What could this stranger want? And could he somehow derail everything she had worked to build? As thoughts raced through her mind, she braced herself for what was about to unravel. Tomorrow would be a day filled with answers, fear, and maybe just maybe another chance for growth. The moment hung suspended in the air, heavy with tension. Samantha felt her pulse quicken, each beat echoing in the silence. The bakery, once alive with the warmth of laughter, now felt like an arena, the crowd fixated on this unexpected visitor. She took a deep breath, steadying herself before she spoke again. "What do you want to talk about?" The question emerged more pointedly than she intended, but desperation seeped into her voice. She needed to know, needed clarity in the midst of the brewing storm. The man shifted slightly, his eyes narrowing. "I'm here about the property," he said, glancing briefly around the bakery, acknowledging the flour-dusted surfaces and the colorful chaos of creativity that thrived in this space. "I think we should discuss your plans. You're doing something unique here, and it's drawing attention." Samantha felt a mix of confusion and anger flare up. "Attention? Is that what you call it? You think you can stroll in here and dictate how I run my business?" She felt herself clenching her fists, protecting her dream with all her might. "Whoa, whoa." He raised his hands in a gesture of calm, but that only made her more furious. "I'm not here to take anything from you. In fact, I want to help." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "My name is Jacob. I saw potential in this bakery, in you and your family. But you need to be aware of the space you occupy. It's valuable." Samantha hesitated. Was this man truly an ally? Or merely a wolf cloaked in sheep-esque clothing, looking to exploit her hard work? The warmth of the bakery felt distant, as if she were standing in the cold outside, searching for signs of trust amid the elements. "What do you mean by valuable?" Ethan's voice broke in, cutting through the thick air. The boy had moved closer, curiosity sparking in his blue eyes. Eva followed suit, hand gripping her brother's arm, mirroring his tension. Jacob turned his attention to the children, a softer expression crossing his face. "Well, kids, this bakery isn't just about cookies and cupcakes. It's a hub for community, a place where people can come together, where bonds can form. But it also has the potential for something more, expansive." Samantha swallowed hard, feeling a knot form in her throat. This wasn't just about baked goods, it was about lives, her children's lives, their future, and the moments they would share in this space. "Are you suggesting we expand?" Samantha's voice trembled with a deliberate steadiness. "Exactly," he replied, leaning in. "Think about it. Classes, events, maybe even a partnership with local businesses. I can help you achieve that if you're willing to consider it. It's a chance for something bigger, a transformation that could change everything for you and your kids." The weight of his words started to settle. She could almost envision it, the laughter echoing in a larger kitchen, the buzz of community members coming together, the smiles on her children's faces as they fulfilled not just their dreams, but her own. Yet with this vision came uncertainty. What would the cost be? Would this stranger become a true partner or just another obstacle in her path? Why would you want to help? She asked, the doubt etched deeply into her tone. Because I see potential in you, Samantha, he replied earnestly. And I've been where you are. I know how overwhelming it can be to chase a dream. For a moment, time seemed to freeze as Samantha weighed his offer. Could she trust him? Was it worth the risk to open her heart and her bakery to someone who might not have her best interests at heart? Bracing herself against the tide of emotions threatening to overwhelm her, Samantha took a breath. I need time. Time to think about this. His gaze remained steady, understanding her need for contemplation. Take your time. But remember, opportunities like this don't last forever. As he turned to go, leaving a trail of uncertainty behind him, Samantha felt the walls of her dream push inward, squeezing her heart. She watched him walk toward the door, and, just before he exited, he glanced back, his eyes glittering with something more: ambition. Intention. Tomorrow, think about what it means to truly unleash your potential, he called back, the door swinging shut behind him. The bakery felt empty now, the ghosts of laughter eerily quiet. With worries flooding her mind, Samantha turned toward Ethan and Eva, their faces reflecting her own confusion and curiosity. What do we do now? Eva asked, her small voice breaking the silence. In that moment, Samantha understood it was a question that reached far beyond the door that had just closed. The journey that lay ahead was not just about her anymore. It was about them, their family, and the community they hoped to build. As doubts mingled with excitement, Samantha wiped her palms on her apron, determined to navigate freshly laid plans and possibilities. Was this the moment everything would shift for them? But just then, another thought gripped her heart, a powerful question unfurling like petals in bloom. What would she uncover about herself in the face of this challenge? With the sun setting outside the bakery, shadows stretched long across the counter, whispering of uncertainties and potential. Tomorrow would be a day to explore the depths of her dreams, and confront the reality that awaited her. Samantha stood frozen in the fading light of the bakery, her heart pounding as she processed Jacob's words. The laughter that had once filled the space felt like a distant echo. Now, all that remained were shadows of doubt and the weight of expectation. Ethan fidgeted, his young mind swirling with uncertainty. Mom, are we gonna let him change everything? He glanced around, as if expecting the walls to answer. What if he just wants to take our bakery away? Samantha knelt beside her son, meeting his bright, anxious eyes. I don't know, honey, she admitted, her voice softer than she intended. But we can't ignore the fact that he sees something in us. Something big. Eva, quiet but steady, chimed in. But what if it's too big? What if we lose everything? The children's fears made Samantha's heart ache. She thought of the late nights spent perfecting her recipes, the early mornings baking before the sun even peeked through the horizon. Every cupcake, every loaf of bread, was a piece of their life, thick with love and devotion. She didn't want that to slip away. I promise you, I won't let that happen. Not without a fight, she said, determination threading through her voice. But we need to think this through carefully. This isn't just about us anymore, it's about the community too. As she spoke, a flicker of resolve ignited in her gut. Teamwork had always been the heartbeat of the bakery. Maybe extending that heartbeat to the community could usher in a new era. Later that evening, gathering around the small kitchen table, Samantha spread out her grandmother's old notebook, a colorful, worn book with pages that had absorbed the dreams of generations. She began to jot down ideas, the pages filling with doodles and schemes. Classes for kids, baking nights for families, maybe even local artist showcases, she murmured, feeling the energy of possibility wash over her. As the children flipped through their own magazines, imagining what could be, Samantha felt a shift. She could hear the joy of laughter in her mind, see the future bustling with life. But still, a nagging voice whispered doubt. Could she really pull this off? The demands of running a bakery were already asking every ounce of her time. Would she crumble under added pressure, or would this new venture empower her more than she realized? After tucking Ethan and Eva into bed, she sat on the edge of her own bed, staring out the window into the dark night. The moon cast a silver glow over the quiet street. What lay ahead felt both exhilarating and daunting. Just then, a digital beep broke the silence, pulling her into reality. Another message buzzed on her phone, a notification from the bakery's social media. Scrolling down, she saw comments from community members praising her work. They reminisced about their experiences at the bakery, sharing stories of birthdays celebrated and friendships forged over baked sweets. It hit her, she had already created something meaningful. But could she build on that? Closing her eyes, she wrestled with her thoughts. Was she ready to leap into the unknown? As she finally turned off the light, a resolve wrapped around her heart. Tomorrow would bring choices. Questions loomed large, but so did the chance for growth. Exhaustion pulled her into a restless sleep, filled with dreams of kitchens bustling with laughter and joy. But in the dim corners of her mind, the vision of Jacob remained, watching silently, as if waiting for her decision. Little did she know, the next day would unveil not just opportunities but also challenges that would test her faith in herself and her ability to trust others. Would she be able to face them? And ultimately, could she transform her bakery into the community hub Jacob envisioned? The dawn broke with a gentle radiance that felt like a warm embrace for Samantha. She awoke, bubbling with determination that swirled in her chest like the fresh batter she whipped each morning. Today was the day. As she prepared breakfast, thoughts of Jacob's offer swirled in her mind. The potential of expanding the bakery to truly become a community hub excited her, but the fear of losing control still loomed large. She glanced at Ethan and Eva seated at the table, their laughter brightening the room. This was what she wanted to protect. "Are you guys ready for an adventure today?" she asked, feigning a calmness she didn't quite feel. "Yes," they exclaimed, their excitement infectious and grounding. After breakfast, they arrived at the bakery, the sun pouring through the windows. The air was thick with the sweet scent of cinnamon and baked bread. The warmth of the space felt empowering as Samantha surveyed her kingdom. This was more than just a bakery, it was their dream. The moment she caught sight of Jacob leaning casually against the counter, clad in that same sharp suit, her heart raced. "You made it," she greeted, her voice steady despite the butterflies swirling in her stomach. "Of course. I'm excited to see what you decide," he replied, his eyes glinting with optimism. "Let's talk," she said, leading him to a quieter area in the back, where the clatter of the ovens couldn't drown out her thoughts. As they settled in, she cleared her throat. "I've been thinking about what you said. Starting a community hub, it scares me. But it also excites me. Who am I to take on something so big? Samantha, you've already done the hard part. You created something special here. All that's left is to share that passion with more people." His words nudged something deep within her. But what if this turns into chaos? Chaos can be good. It means life. He leaned closer, his expression encouraging. "Picture it. Classes for kids, baking nights for families, it could become a lifeline for the community." Her breath caught as she envisioned it. The bakery alive with laughter, parents connecting, children learning, memories being forged over the shared joy of creating. She imagined meeting local artists, musicians, and bakers, all under one roof. "But I need help," she admitted, the words bursting forth before hesitation could stifle them. "That's why I'm here," Jacob assured her, a grin spreading across his face. "Think of me as your partner in this. Together, we can bring this vision to life." The hesitance within her shrank, replaced by a growing wave of conviction. She could feel the embrace of her community thriving in the bakery's walls. "I'll do it," she declared, the decision ringing clear in her ears. "But we have to make sure it stays a place for everyone. No one should be excluded." Jacob nodded, and she could see the respect in his eyes. "Absolutely. Let us create something that welcomes all." That resolve ignited a fire in her belly. They began to brainstorm, jotting down ideas that flowed like sweet syrup: a family cooking night, holiday bake-offs, charity events. Each suggestion built on the last, sparking a joyful frenzy between them. Just then, Ethan and Eva wandered in, arms full of handcrafted signs. "We made these for the bakery," they exclaimed. Their crafty signs read, "Join the fun. And baking brings joy." Samantha's heart swelled with pride. "These are perfect. You guys are amazing." As they stood together, Samantha felt a shift inside. This was no longer just about her dreams, but a collective wow that could bloom into something beautiful and vibrant. When she shared her plans with Ethan and Eva, their faces lit up with joy, laughter spilling from their lips. Today, they were part of something bigger than themselves, and each child's instinct to join in felt like a piece of the dream being fulfilled. Over the next few weeks, excitement rippled through the community. Word spread quickly, and before she knew it, eager faces filled the bakery daily. Parents signed up for classes. Children bounced on their toes in anticipation of what would be taught. The grand opening of the bakery as a community hub approached rapidly. But beneath the excitement, Samantha felt old doubts creep back in. Could she really pull this off? What if everything came crashing down? Yet, as the day neared, moments spent with her children, laughter echoing in the corners, reminded her of what mattered most. This was for them. The chance to reshape not just a business but lives. When the day finally arrived, Samantha stood at the door, hands sweaty. A line formed outside, their eager faces lit up like holiday lights. Each smile, each glimmer reflected back at her reminded her why she was here. As she opened the door, a wave of warmth washed over her. Community members filtered in, eyes sparkling with excitement. Laughter filled the air, and Samantha felt goosebumps. "Welcome to our bakery. Today we're not just baking, we're building memories," she greeted, her voice clear and strong. The essence of home, transformed, was alive in every corner. Cheers erupted, and in that moment, she knew this was it. A seed planted, nurturing countless futures, including her own. Standing side by side with her children and partner, Samantha felt the barrage of past insecurities fade. This was more than just a bakery, it was a testament to the power of belief and community, an overflow of dreams forged in resilience and love. And at that moment, tears brimmed in her eyes, not from fear, but from a profound joy of realizing they had done this together, every step of the way. They weren't just a family anymore. They were part of a greater tapestry of lives intertwined with hope. As the laughter rang in her ears, Samantha felt her heart swell with gratitude. "Thank you, everyone," she called out, "now let us create more memories." The future was bright. She had opened not just a bakery but a door to countless possibilities that would ripple beyond what she could ever imagine. Now, as the final scene unfolded before her friends, families, laughter, warmth, she understood one crucial thing: home is built on love, determination, and community. And this journey was just the beginning. Tomorrow would bring a new day, more challenges, but also endless opportunities to shine together as family and community. So, join this journey, cherish these stories, and remember the best is yet to come. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support for this inspiring journey. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this incredible transformation. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need this kind of uplifting inspiration. Don't wait not even one more second to share. True fans know how important these actions are to keep the community growing strong.